It is all about you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I often feel pulled in many directions. I don't know if there's a certain direction better.
The one that feels good to you.
What if they all feel good?
Then you have the joyous work of deciding which one feels better than the other. And of course, you came here to use your five senses. The five senses in your body are very sensual. And I do not mean that in a sexual way, I mean that in a very physical way. When you can see something and decide what feels more pleasing to you, when you can listen to something and decide which one was just a little bit more than the other, yes? Mm-hmm. And so then that is your work. The having of the choices here is the purpose. Mm-hmm. You came to have choices. You came to make decisions. The important thing here is to examine your intentions behind the decisions. So let us look at a couple of the choices so I can mechanically explain this to you. Because in the examination of your intention behind each of the selections of the choices is how you will be able to make the choice that is most desirous to you. Provide examples of your choices.
Okay. One choice, I did a Kundalini yoga teacher training. Not quite done with it, but I enjoy Kundalini, but not everything that's in there. There's Reiki as well, and animal Reiki. And I just don't know which way to.
You do not know what to do with the information you have assimilated?
Yeah.
That's what you're articulating?
Yes.
Oh, so what you are asking for is clarity from within on which direction to go. Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay, this is good because this is something that you all can use when you are framing your physical experiences. And I have offered these techniques to others and they work very, very well. I will give you several to choose from them. Okay. When you go to sleep at night, I want you to understand that's considered a kind of a death in the way that you all seem to think of death, meaning you will get tired at the end of the day and want to go to sleep when you have gathered enough and experienced enough information for that day that you then need to go to sleep. Yes, which you call rest. But understand that the aspect of you that is responsible for your existence here never sleeps. And you call these activities dreams. Mm-hmm. And there is a great benefit that each of you can leverage by directing your dream work. And this is how you do it. When you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, it is reasonable for you to direct yourself to work on whatever is important to you. And so in your example, we would say it like this. You use the word inner being, or do you use the word soul?
Either one works.
You can get into bed and you can say, inner being, I'm going to go to sleep now. And while I am sleeping, I would like you to work on communicating to me the choices that I'm going to love the most. And when I wake up, I want you to work on communicating those choices to me in a way that I will understand it. For no one knows you better than me, you see. And by this action of deliberately acknowledging first this aspect of yourself, this resource of yourself, two, giving it work to do on your behalf, you're acknowledging more is happening in your experience than just in your waking state. Yes? Mm-hmm. You have now provided a space of energy for you to respond. Again, ask and it is given. Yes?
Yes.
And so that is one approach. That is one approach to accessing the information. I have said every answer to every question is within you. Every solution to every problem is contained within you. The body of that wisdom is something that you would like to extract. This is what I am hearing. That is one approach. The other approach is to, when you get up in the morning, to direct your inner being, yourself, this aspect of your existence, and understand this. You did not come here to struggle. You didn't You came here to learn, but you didn't come here to struggle. And what does that mean? That means that you can get up in the morning and understand that every day you can have a day filled with ease, no matter what is happening. Ease is a very, very powerful energy frequency, yes? And it is one within your control. So the other alternative you have is to wake up in the morning and to indicate, declare, today, the answers to my questions about my next step of my profession is going to flow to me very easily, in a way that's easily. You see the word easily? Mm-hmm. Easy, easily, ease. These are the words you want to set at the beginning of your day. And if that means you need to wake up a little bit earlier, I assure you it is a valuable tool, because it sets the energy tone for your day. If your initial thoughts at the beginning of your day is ease, yes? Mm-hmm. You have now set the tone, the energy frequency for your day. And of course, what you're asking for will more easily flow to you. Wanting to retrieve an answer outside of yourself, when all that you want to know is within yourself, yes? Mm-hmm. Is an application of your authority of your life. It is an application of your power, you see. Mm-hmm. And so what you want to do to come into more of that unity in self is you want to begin to rely more on your natural aspects of self than your rational ones. For you have all been taught that a quality life is linked to your intelligence, yes? Mm-hmm. And your intelligence has been linked to what has culturally been defined as your rational mind. How much paper do you have to validate the intelligence of your brain? Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And so in this culture, you are not taught very much to value your intuitive mind, yes? Mm-hmm. And this practice of valuing and relying upon your intuitive mind, which is where the answers come from, which is where the solutions are known. The practice of wanting to deliberately use this intelligence of yours is what is going to, in your words, manifest in a way that will amaze you daily, right? And so let me explain this. Your rational mind, your physical mind, was designed to perceive, to observe, and to catalog what it was observing, yes? Mm-hmm. And the function of that was so that you could utilize information to help make your choices, yes? However, it was never designed to do that function and also the function of your intuitive mind, which is where your creativity, which is where your spontaneity is, which is where the connection of you, the intuitive parts of you, the access, the support to everything you ever wanted to know, to bring to bear in this physical life. That's your intuitive mind. But humans have made the rational mind, the physical mind, responsible for the jobs of both, you see, because you're taught that your identity can be measured with the intelligence that is measured in a very particular way in Western culture, is it not? And there is almost the exclusion then, the non-validation of the intuitive mind, and yet you need both. You don't really want to rely on one overly as opposed to the other. There is a balance. You have heard of the balance? And so creating the space for both aspects of you, for all of those aspects of you to function in helping you make a decision. And so the example of giving yourself the homework at night, acknowledging the power of your dream state. When you wake up in the morning, by the way, do not move, for you have assigned yourself a communication from the aspect of yourself that did not sleep. And so when you first wake up, keep your eyes closed and stay still, yes? And wait, for the images that you recall in a dream are the most important aspect. Of all of the information that you experienced in the dream state, the ones that you can recall are the ones that your inner being is trying to communicate to you. And so it would be important then that if you can recall some of those images, that you then query yourself in that moment of stillness. What does that information mean? Begin to have the dialogue between you and you. Practice accessing the information that is already within you. You see, your inner being has already seen down the road. It knows which path you're going to enjoy the most. Yes?
Yes.
You want to access that information.
Yes.
You want the benefit of the part of you that has a broader perspective, right? You call precognition and other ones. And so stay quiet and allow the communication to occur. And if you do not understand the images, you can query yourself. What does that mean? What am I supposed to know from that? And many times, as you begin to practice this exercise, you will receive a thought answer that is so clear that it will establish, and it's like you are plugged into a computer, and it's the child that got the first iPad. The whole world will just open up for you in that moment when you understand, I am in control of this. Ask it, it is given. I can do this anytime I want to know anything, you see. So that part of you that wants you to have the best experiences there, all you have to do is practice the technique that will train you, that will allow you to make the space for that communication. Now, what happens? What happens when you learn a new language? When you learn how to communicate, it starts to become more and more easy. Yes? So then you could be washing the dishes and the thought will come in as well. It won't only have to be in that framework. What you want to do is begin practicing the information that you want to retrieve that is already within you, you see. And so that is one way. So if you're going to use the nighttime homework one, when you wake up, it is important to keep your eyes closed. You are waking up, you are staying where you are, commanding the body to obey you. Whereas most people set their alarms, they get up, they have a routine, they do the routine is not your friend here. And it is now incumbent upon you to create a new routine that you require for your life, and the body must obey you. Now, the first few times, this is going to feel very interesting because your body's going to want to move. It's been conditioned to your conditional life. Yes? But now you're going to tell your body no, to keep your eyes closed, to stay where it is, and it must obey you so that you can create this deliberate space for this communication between self and self, you see. Now, there are going to be times in your practicing in the beginning of this when you're not going to readily, 15, 20 minutes of staying in this place, open space that you created for this wisdom to be withdrawn, to be extracted from you. The answer may come in a way that you don't understand. And this is what we talked about earlier with trust. The answer could be something like this. As you're laying there, honoring this. Go on Facebook. See, you thought that was funny.
Yes.
Yes. Go on Facebook. And you're going to think, wow, I was waiting for some revelationary information, something very prophetic. And it could be, go on Facebook after your tea. Go on Facebook before your tea. Go on Facebook while you're in the bathroom. You understand? It'll be something strange or innocuous like that. And honor that. Trust the information, even though it seems silly or strange. So if it's telling you to go on Facebook as you're brushing your teeth, go on Facebook. You see? Honor that in you. Trust the wisdom that you're extracting no matter what. Trust in yourself is loving yourself. And so it will know that at a certain time, you being on Facebook, right, is going to expose you to a part of the path. It's a breadcrumb trail, and you are the mouse. Except you are the one who's giving yourself the breadcrumbs to follow. Because right now, your rational mind is in human form. And it is accommodating and understanding that need. And so at certain times, it could be a global message. Love yourself more. Oh, okay. Other times, go on Facebook after you do. You see?
Yeah.
But both are to be honored. Because both is you leading you down the trail to the most optimal choice, which already it knows what it is. Once again, time does not occur as past, present, future from the non-physical dimension. It is simultaneous, which is why the higher version of yourself has the advantage of seeing your life 1 year down the road, 5 years down the road. It knows that not only are you looking for the professional option that is most satisfying to you, but it knows that there are certain avenues where if you take this one, if you take this choice, it is good and you will feel satisfaction. But if you take this one, you will not only feel good satisfaction and contentment, but you're going to discover new levels of love down this path, new levels of unconditionalism down this path. It knows which ones are better, you see, and all you want to do is access it. So in the morning, you be still. If you're going to use the one in the morning, however, meaning the morning exercise as opposed to the nighttime instruction, by setting the expectation for your day, it must accompany ease, meaning the choices that I have to make professionally, the best one for me is going to flow to me very easily. Now, it's a very broad statement, and that is good because you can trust that what you want, what you've asked for, will be delivered in that manner. You will not be able to anticipate the method of its delivery. But you are leaving it open and you are trusting that aspect of the unknown. You are trusting that whatever is delivered is going to be good for you. Again, going back to the wrongness of choice. Yes? Trust and ease at the beginning of your day is entirely critical to the kind of day that you're going to have. Ease and trust. Ease and trust. Almost doesn't get any better than that. Because then whatever comes out of ease and trust is almost always going to be exactly what you wanted in the morning.